Bombs away! Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 biggest box office flops of all time. Number 10. Stealth. Kicking off our list is the ill-fated sci-fi action film starring Josh Lucas, Jessica Biel, and Jamie Foxx. Columbia Pictures' Stealth innocently tried to merge the thrills of Top Gun with the futuristic tech of Terminator. Unfortunately, the all-star cast and expensive effects couldn't help keep this one from slipping under the radar. Losses?
Maybe 500 to 1,000.
$111.7 million. Number 9. Heaven's Gate. Westerns are usually a pretty reliable genre. They're popular and supposed to be cheap to produce. But cost overruns and bad press involving animal cruelty and a bossy director meant Heaven's Gate was a production hell. Another big fail was the film's ridiculously long original runtime of almost 5.5 hours. Talk about Hollywood excess. The money this film made back was probably just enough to cover the cost of horse rentals. Losses? $114.3 million. Number 8. Speed Racer. Question: what do you get when you combine a 60s acid trip with the creators of The Matrix? Answer: a box office bomb bigger than John Goodman's appetite. While the movie probably appealed to some 8-year-old boys, they'd have a hell of a hard time dragging their parents to see this wreck. Eye candy be damned. This $120 million monstrosity's trippy trailer alone was enough to make moviegoers take the blue pill.
It doesn't work like that.
Losses? $114.5 million. Number 7. Town and Country. Another genre that is supposed to be cheap to produce is the ensemble comedy. But even Warren Beatty, Diane Keaton, Goldie Hawn, and Gary Shandling couldn't save Town and Country. Rumor has it was Beatty himself who demanded multiple reshoots of every scene, and that's what drove up production costs. The film's awful reviews were the final nail in the coffin, and both Beatty's and Hahn's careers pretty much stalled as a result. Losses? $124.2 million. Number 6. The 13th Warrior. So not all Michael Crichton adaptations strike gold on the silver screen, but you would think a movie with this much fighting would work. Not so if all you've got to make it work is a flimsy script and Antonio Banderas. The 13th Warrior blew its load on lavish sets, and Crichton directed reshoots once the movie bombed with test audiences, but somehow it still forgot to tell a story. Losses? $137.1 million. Number 5. Mars Needs Moms. Trust us, Martians weren't the only ones looking for their mommies when this film crashed and burned. The motion capture technology was half cool, half creepy as usual, but here's a surprise, the script sorta sucked. Since the movie was crafted as a very expensive lesson in manners, it's not a huge shock that kids didn't flock to theaters.
What is she talking about?
Losses? $140.5 million. Number 4. Sahara. Clive Cussler writes a mean novel, but Hollywood hijacked his vision for this adaptation. Originally intended as the first film in a franchise, this Matthew McConaughey and Penelope Cruz vehicle actually did respectively at the box office and even opened at number 1. But the massive production, distribution, and marketing costs meant this film lost so much money, we'd be shocked if we ever saw Dirk Pitt on the big screen again.
Don't you worry, I'll be there.
Losses? $144.9 million. Number 3. The Adventures of Pluto Nash. What do you have to do wrong to spend $100 million only to make back $7 million? The answer involves a not funny script that was kicking around Hollywood since the 80s, and Eddie Murphy loudmouthing his way through a movie so bad it wasn't released for 2 years after production wrapped. And Randy Quaid as a robotic bodyguard? Come on, guys.
It's horrible.
Losses? $145.9 million. Number 2. The Alamo. The second biggest bomb in box office history starred Randy's much more talented brother, Dennis. This film tried to do too much at once. It struggled with historical accuracy, attempted to build interesting characters, and desperately fought to show riveting action. Unfortunately, the history was the only thing this snooze fest got even half right. Of course, it didn't help that audiences were more interested in seeing Passion of the Christ again either.
No one is coming.
Proving that the only thing more appealing to audiences than patriotism was Jesus. Losses? $146.6 million. Number 1. Cutthroat Island. Taking the Guinness World Record title of biggest film flop ever was the swashbuckling tale of a female pirate. Though this movie had a few fun moments, it generally suffered from bad acting and even worse writing.
By the way, that won't work. See, I took your balls.
This film hung Carolco Pictures from the gallows, and Geena Davis's career wasn't far behind. But to be fair, Cutthroat Island was still better than any of the Pirates of the Caribbean sequels. Losses, $147.2 million.
Are you all right?
Yes. You?
Fine. Just a little poor.
Did this list take you by surprise? Which other films were you expecting to see make the top 10? Let us know in the comments section.
Bye.